What's up, everybody? We are now live, and welcome to the Recreated Podcast, and which is now called Dark Woods. With me also is my host, Paul Chafin, Kentucky Dogman Project, co-founder of Dark Woods. Also with me is Tom Cardos from North Carolina Cryptid and Paranormal Project. He is admin in Dark Woods. What's up, fellas?
What's going on?
Man,
What's going on, man?
getting the first show out of the way, you know what I mean? Getting it out of the
Absolutely.
way. So what we're going to do tonight, y'all, we're going to have a little panel discussion with us three. We're going to go over a few topics. One of them, we're going to go over the documentary we're going to be putting out coming sometime either early next year or mid next year. The trailer is also out. If you want to check that out, trust me, you will not be disappointed. Go to Kentucky Dogman Project, check it out. It's also in Tom's group, North Carolina Cryptid Paranormal Project. It's in Texas Cryptid Project, and it's also in Dark Woods. So go and check those out. You will not be disappointed, trust me. So I want to start out tonight with a little discussion on Dogman, and we'll let Paul take the reins first and let him give us a little detail of what he's been encountering out there in Kentucky.
I don't think they're ready for that.
Oh, they're not. Trust me, they're not. But it's gonna have to come out sooner or later, man. It's gonna have to come out sooner or later.
Listen, the more video footage that I watch, the further I get into this. It's I can't even explain it, man, because it's so hard. It's so hard to just show you guys a picture, and I can't get across what's really there in just a picture. And in order for you to watch the video, I need to be I need to be there with you, kind of like, and talking about it as you watch it. It's just hard to do. It's hard for me to just cut a clip out of a video and post it and let you look at it, and you're supposed to know what I'm seeing. You know what I'm saying? Because it's really strange. These things, they have, when I say lightning fast, like, I'm not even exaggerating. I'm talking about fast, like so fast it's a blur.
Yeah.
And these are things that I've seen. Like, it ain't something that I think. This is something that I know. You know what I'm saying? The pictures, I'm way beyond that. I post the pictures for the people in the group, to be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm way beyond pictures right now. I review footage looking for something, maybe that we can use in the documentary. But if I run across something, I'll take a screenshot and post it in the group, So just to give people something to look at. And I don't know why people feel that. I mean, apparently, I'm going to start putting at the top of it. I don't care if you can't see it or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I think we had a little issue today with someone had. I actually removed somebody because they were just their nonsense and their simple mindedness of not being open minded to see what's actually there, because there's certain things that like we talked about earlier. Your eyes have to be trained to see.
Mm-hmm.
The basic eye is going to see a blurry image or not. But once you've seen these shots several times and you train your eyes to see for a certain specific item anomaly where that image is, you're going to see like a face. You're going to see like you're going to start seeing like a face, maybe some ears, maybe a snout, or whatever, hands, claws. So we've discussed this already. So that's very true.
Yeah.
Well, and like in the video, you'll be looking at the video frame by frame. In the face area, you can see the outline, but the face will be blurry. But all of a sudden, in one frame, the face will come in clear, and then the next frame, it's gone again. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, that's why you got to go frame by frame with it.
Yeah, and quite honestly, snapping pictures is really not the way to go, honestly. Paul, you've proven that. I had proof of that with the Dogman I seen on my property the other day. I snapped a picture, fully zoomed in, and when I reviewed the picture, the whole resolution changed. It was just, I don't know what the hell happened, but, watching, the missing 411 the other night when the lady had the predator case, she took a picture with her BlackBerry, and for whatever reason, it changed the resolution to a resolution that's not even.
It's not even on that phone. Yeah,
not even on that phone. So there's weird stuff happening with that. That's why if you go out there, the best way to go out there, like Paul said, take your phone, get that little monocular attachment, and just video.
Well, and another thing is this. Listen, I've put out some really clear pictures. Some, not all of them. Trust me, I know I'm not crazy. Some of them are really clear. I put out 2 or 3 pictures that are crystal clear, like there's no debating them. And along with that growl, and I can't figure out for the life of me why, in a Dogman evidence only group, that's the name of the group. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
why ain't none of this stuff went viral? I just don't think people care, man. I think there's very, very few people who care about the research end of it, and then there's the other people who are genuine people, but they're just there to see a picture. You know what I'm saying? So
exactly. And the other thing we didn't really talk about lately is like the pixelation. Like when you share a picture, say I share it to Paul, and then Paul shares it to Lieutenant, to Rick, that picture is distorted 5 times to Paul and then 5 more times to Lieutenant. By the time he gets it, there's really nothing to see. But the original image is clear as day. But once you start passing it around, you lose all that pixelation.
Yeah, I mean, I can never show you guys. I can never show you what I see. You know what I'm saying? Like, unless you're here, there's just no way.
Yeah, and that's a real big debatable topic right now. I mean, trust me, y'all. When something gets sent through Facebook Messenger, it completely eats that picture alive. I mean, you can't get the clarity you would sending it through a regular text, and even then you still lose.
Well, if it's iPhone to iPhone, it's a little better.
It's a little
so
better. Yeah,
I don't know what kind of Samsung. I don't know what their image processor or whatever is. I don't know, but
yeah, and that's one thing I found out. iPhone to iPhone works great. You sent me some stuff, Paul. It's come out really clear. Sometimes if it's a little bit of a blurry picture, it gets a little harder, but it's you can still see what's out there.
Well,
just like Tom said, you gotta be open minded.
Yeah.
You can't just.
Well, that's why the questions are in the beginning of the group. These people answered questions to get into my group. You know how I know? Because I don't let them in the group if they don't. Exactly. And they answer questions. One of them is, "Are you open-minded?" And then the first thing that guy did today was violate both of the questions that he answered. So he lied. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Exactly.
So,
we got a quick question, real guys. Eric Ogle says, "Do you guys think they are not fully in this plan yet?" I think it means playing yet, like in transition.
Okay. Yeah. That's something else I wanted to cover. Now, listen. I know how odd it sounds, and Rick can verify this. I've got picture after picture that I don't post, most of them. They're green. You see this Skittle bag right here? Green right here. Yeah. That color green.
And you know what? And with that being said, I can show y'all a picture right now of one of them, and I believe it's this one. Sorry, Tom, I had to cover you up a little.
That's fine.
But if y'all look at that picture, and you look right below the top of that blue line in the middle, you look down, it's green. It's green.
Yeah. And I've got some good ones too, probably better than that one.
Yeah. There's
right there. See?
This one today you sent me that just honestly looks cloaked. You can't really tell what it is, but the pixelation in that picture is totally different from everything around it. And then here's another one.
Oh, there's the money shot.
There's the money shot. But you're gonna get so much riffraff about, man, oh, that's just a bunch of trees. Oh, why'd you put a circle
Well, what people
around
don't
it?
know is that's eye level with me, and I'm 6'1".
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's across. That thing's standing on sand on the beach, and there's a big tree that has a limb that goes down about 4 foot off the ground, and you could tell that thing was another foot or so above that. So I mean, and that's another thing. A lot of these things look like common dogs in the face. You know what I'm saying? They don't.
That picture looks like a straight up dog.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The only thing that give it away was its ears are like that long. You know, and they're sticking straight up.
Yeah.
Yep.
And now.
And that describes the picture that I got 2 weeks ago. Looks just like a big ass German Shepherd head. Paul, you've seen it, and the ears are just way up there. Way up there.
And the day that I went down there when I got growled at, the day before I went down by myself, right? And I spent about 3 or 4 hours down there. And when I got down there, I had my backpack, stick, everything with me. But when I got down there, I said, it comes out to this little point, and there's a creek that comes through the middle of the property. It comes out to the river. And sometimes when it hasn't rained in a while, you can jump across to the other side and walk on down the beach. But if it's rained, it's real wide and you can't get across. So it was real wide this day. It had rained. So I was on that little point on that sand, and I was getting all my stuff out of my bag, getting my camera, my phone, my everything out. And I looked up, and there was a dogman walking straight toward me. But when I seen it, I thought it was a mountain lion. It was the same color as a mountain lion looked like one. The only difference was is it had ears sticking straight up on top of its head.
Yep.
They were like that long. The ears were sticking straight up. But other than that, it was a mountain lion. And when it turned, it didn't run. It walked right at me, and then it made a left and went up the bank into the tree line. But it looked like it had something black on its neck, like a collar.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know.
That's strange stuff right there. There's also a lot of reports of people seeing like almost like jewelry or like almost like a shock collar on their neck. So you're not the first one to see that because I've heard that plenty of times.
I thought tracking collar is what I thought.
Could be tracking collar, yeah, government issue.
Yeah, I mean, it could have been, or well, and then the next day when we went down there, when I got out of the car, I got everything ready. I didn't take that chance of walking down there and then seeing it and not have my camera out. So I got everything ready at the car, and as soon as we got down there, I hit record, and we wasn't there 39 seconds. 39 seconds into the video, we got growled at. But the only difference was from the day before is I had one of my friends with me. So I don't know if he has some bad spirits following him. I don't know what they can see or what they can tell about people. But the only thing different in those 2 days was he was with me. And when that thing growled, I was being dead silent and I was standing still. I wasn't approaching anything. I had one on camera and I hollered at him. I said, Mike, come here. Real quietly. I said, come here, look at this. He took about 3 steps far enough to look at my phone. And about the time he looked at it, that thing growled off to our right at about 30, 40 yards.
Do you think maybe the frequency of your friend just didn't like your friend being there as maybe like a trespasser because it's used to you and it's not used to your friend?
Well, I mean, the growl was scary, but it was also shocking in the sense to me, it might as well have stood up and said, hey, I'm over here. We know we're here, but that's far enough. You know what I'm saying? It's pretty much how I took it. Like for them to reveal themselves like that. And then about 15 minutes later, do you deer hunt?
Yes.
Have you ever walked up on a buck and it blow and run off?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
You hate that feeling. You know what I'm saying? That deer's gone.
You're done for the day pretty much.
Yeah. Okay, well, we heard that while we were down there. Now, this was on the other side of that creek I was telling you about. And to get over to the other side, it's straight down about 15 foot. And then there's the creek, and then it's straight up about 15 foot to get to the top on the other side. And something was over on the other side there. It's about 50, 60 yards, and it was blowing like that. And it sounded just like a deer, but it was repeating it over and over and over and over. And it did that for about 15 minutes, and it was going back and forth. So whatever it was mad, you could tell, and it was blowing really hard. Now, and it had big lungs too, so I don't know what it was.
Dang. Now, I got a quick theory real fast. Now, debating on like how pictures take pixelation and distortion. Do you guys ever think that maybe if you take like an old school camera, like even like a 35 millimeter to get the film developed, or even something like even 8 millimeter camcorder, old school style, you think that would take a better quality video? Like say for instance, like the Patty film that was taken with old, 8 millimeter and, the crank film. So you think maybe doing that, something that old instead of something like a new digital camera would get better footage instead of.
Well, the thing is this camera right here, even my phone has a 4K setting.
Yeah.
And it'll take video, but if you zoom at all, it's done. That's a wrap. Any zoom at all on anything, and it's just blurry and it's gone. It starts pixelating.
That's what's good about that attachment, that monocular attachment. You don't have to zoom.
Yeah.
I got a 12x50, and I really don't have to zoom. But that day I zoomed I wanted a full headshot, and when I took that picture, it minimized the resolution bigger than hell.
Well, I went out here in my driveway the other day and got some pictures of the moon with that thing, and holy shit, man, that thing is crazy, dude. You can see the craters on the moon.
Oh wow!
I'll send you the pictures, but it's so hard to hold still. I don't know if you've ever zoomed with a camera.
It's real sensitive with that.
Yeah, your heartbeat. You can feel your heartbeat in your hand through it. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy.
Now another question is like if with the old camcorder stuff and whatnot, say like you're saying with the zoom where you lose your zoom. Say you start your camera off, you started off zoomed out before you even go in the woods, and then you're already zoomed out. So when you take it out, you're zoomed out already to see something far away. Would that help, or
well,
have you tried that?
I'll be honest. I don't know, but what I'm about to start doing, as of now, from now on, I just ordered it today. It's the same thing that Scott Carpenter wears on his shoulder. I'm done going into, but the one I ordered holds your phone.
Oh, wow.
So I'm done holding the camera up and then reviewing the footage when I get home, and them knowing they know what you're doing when you're there.
Yeah.
But they move when you turn your back. When you turn your head, there's movement and stuff. So that's what I'm gonna start doing. I'm just trying different things, man. Something's got to give.
Yeah.
Yeah. The clearest shots I've gotten were like nonchalant, random, just quick snaps, like you said, the quick snaps at a picture.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got a clear Bigfoot face in my property, and it's just it's you can't dismiss it at all. And this, like I said, I wasn't even like aiming. I was just taking random pics, and then I had my wife just because my wife has a really good eye at catching these faces and anomalies.
Yeah,
I just showed her. She I think she's part sensitive because she finds a lot, but I let her look at some of the pictures, and she's good. There's one right there. There's one right there. I'm like, damn, pretty good.
Well, see, man, I believe I've got something going on. I don't. Just throughout my whole life, I've been able to walk into a room and I can tell. Like when my girl comes home, so she walks in the door, I can tell what kind of mood she's in. I could always do it with my mom too. But I just always assumed everybody could do it. You know what I'm saying? I didn't think it was anything special until I got older and realized, this ain't right. But just for an example, we went four-wheeler riding the other day, okay? And my girlfriend she's a flatlander. She never been on a four-wheeler in her life, I don't think. But we borrowed my uncle's four-wheeler now. And we got one of them papoose things that women can wear that hold the baby.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It ain't cloth. It's got straps and buckles on it. Okay?
Oh, yeah.
Well, she turned the baby around facing that way, and she had my other youngest daughter on the back, and then I had my oldest daughter on my four-wheeler with me. Okay, well, we get going, and we get down to the mouth of the holler before we get on the highway, and my girlfriend's like, this four-wheeler don't have any brakes on it. I said, none? She said, none. I was like, well, I thought about it for a minute, and I thought, well, where we're going, it don't matter, because we're going uphill, and then when we come down the four-wheeler in first gear, you almost have to give it gas going downhill.
Downshift it, you're good.
Yeah, in first gear, you can't. It won't go anywhere. So I thought, okay, well, we'll go, and if there's any tough spots, I'll help her get through it or whatever. We rode for about 45 minutes up on this mountain, and the road started trying to get a little bit rougher. But just out of the blue, man, I stopped and got off my four-wheeler and walked back to her, and I said, listen to me. I said, if this four-wheeler stalls out, make sure you cut the wheel to the right. You know what I'm saying? Because it was electric shift with the thumb instead of the foot.
Mm-hmm.
I said, make sure that if it stalls out on you, make sure you cut the wheel. That way you roll into the bank instead of straight back down the mountain. You know what I'm saying? And I said, if you do that and roll down the mountain and cut the wheel, you're going to flip. It's going to throw you off. No more than 5 minutes from the time I told her that, I was flipping that four-wheeler off of them. Mm. They rolled that four-wheeler, and just exactly how I said not to do it, she done it. So, I mean, whatever.
You knew,
yeah, whatever.
You had a precog sense. That's what it was, precognitive.
Almost like premonition.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I didn't see nothing in my mind. I didn't feel something tell me to do that. I was just
gut feeling.
Yeah. I got off and told her, man, and I'm not even joking. Within 5 minutes, thank God nobody got hurt. Not even a scratch. My girlfriend banged her knee up a little bit, but other than that, nobody got hurt. It could have been really bad. That's the scariest I've ever been in my life.
Yeah.
Yeah, I imagine, especially going uphill and having to roll back down.
Well, then having to talk her into getting back on the four-wheeler again.
Exactly. There's only one way in, one way out, so you got to get on the ride to get out.
Can't ride two horses with one ass.
Yeah, that's definitely true. But yeah, it's for those of you that don't know, the evidence that we share back and forth, it's the last, I'm going to say, month. The evidence that we've shared back and forth, well, Paul has shared to me, the evidence he's getting there in Kentucky is a lot of these creatures are coming out green. And there's just, like the pictures I just showed a while ago, there's no explanation for it. Are they cloaking? Don't know. Is it because they're living in green foliage? Don't know. There's really no way to tell.
Well, see, that's something I want to know. Are these things green or are they green because they're in green foliage, Yep.
And see, you had a good theory about that, about the whole, if anyone's ever watched it, it's Bigfoot, A Hidden Reality.
Yeah.
They go in depth They put a Bigfoot hair under a microscope, and they pull. I think it's they pull the light away from it.
Well, they hit it with outside light sources, and they take light away. They do different things, but when they take light away from it,
it turns green.
Yeah, it has a green hue to it.
Yep.
I was just going to say something about the light changes the color of the fur. This is the hair.
Yeah.
Lieutenant Rick, your Al said your volume's a little low. If you want to crank it up a little bit,
okay,
or move your speaker closer, your mic.
How's that, Al?
I can hear you better now already.
Yeah. Okay. I had a little too far. But yeah, it's if anyone hadn't seen that documentary, it's like $7 or $10 on Amazon.
Is it that much now?
Yeah.
It was like $2 or $3.
It must be good. It must be good for charging a lot more.
Yeah, it is a good one. It's the best one I've ever seen.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mark Zaksky's the guy that made it.
Yeah.
Down in Florida.
It really goes into depth with Sasquatch, the hair. They even show you under the microscope when they pull the light away from the hair. It does go green.
Damn.
It does go green.
That's amazing.
Well, I mean, anything. I'm assuming that Bigfoot and Dogman, because out of all the research I've done, all the footage I've reviewed, all the places I've been, I haven't seen nothing Bigfoot other than a footprint.
Hey, Rick, can you type in the title in the comments because someone was asking about it?
Yeah.
And I watched the documentary last night. I paid like $4.99 for it. It's a really good one about Antarctica, about like secrets in Antarctica.
Yeah, I've watched
it. It was with Linda Moulton Howe, and she's like a UFO researcher. And she's interviewing these guys that used to be like ex-lieutenants and like commander-in-chiefs of the research sites in Alaska, and they're telling her like all this crazy information about these like underground dwellings that have like portals that go from I think from Alaska to somewhere in like Alaska to Argentina or something like. Oh no, it goes from Alaska to Hawaii. Like it's almost like a Stargate, and you just walk through it, and it's like just like the movie Stargate. It's like pure water, and you just walk through like a little rectangular, doorway, but it has water flowing through it. And when you go through it, there's no stars or nothing like the movie Stargate, but you just go through it from like Alaska, and you're in Hawaii.
Well, and then I mean, back a few years ago when Obama was in office and John Kerry was the Secretary of State. A bunch of 70 and 60-year-old men all traveled up to Antarctica in a rush.
Wow. I remember that. And Russia, one of the Russian priests went out there too to meet with Obama as well, and it was like a big rushy thing. So they were doing something fishy up there.
Yeah. They discovered something. Is what I figured. Like something was found.
And the funny thing is, because also what wasn't disclosed was they didn't go right to Antarctica. They went to like Patagonia. And they flew out of Patagonia from Patagonia to Antarctica. So they were trying to be hush-hush about it because they didn't go take a straight flight. So that just goes to show you that they were being shady about something.
Well, I just don't understand why after Admiral Byrd flew over to Antarctica and come back and told people what was there, all of a sudden they put this Antarctica treaty together where nobody – you try to go up there right now and take a hike or go on an expedition and they'll put you in prison.
Yeah, it's like the coalition of all the countries. They were talking about that documentary. All these countries are in like a treaty coalition and they all work together. So even though the media is going to tell you like that we're not getting along with Russia or, China or whatever, we're all in a coalition with them.
Yeah. There's like 60 countries, I believe.
Like 60 countries, and it's a huge coalition. And they actually have like bases on the dark side of the moon where they're all working together for like almost like a cataclysmic event. If something happens here, they're going to ship them all out to space and live out there on these bases. But other than that, let's go back to the cryptids part. Speaking of cryptids, don't you guys have a documentary coming out soon?
Absolutely. The trailer is on all our groups. Tom, it's also in your group.
Yep.
It's a 2-minute long documentary, and it has raised the bar for the main documentary we're doing. So it's going to be a wild ride, y'all. It's going to be a wild ride. And I'm making a journey the first week of September to Kentucky. And when I get up there, Paul and I got a lot of footage to review. We're also going to go out into the Daniel Boone. We also got another location we're going to go out that I'm not going to disclose. Because this location, I'm going to tell you now, is a lot hotter than the Daniel Boone.
It really is, and I just think it's only because of the size of the area, compared to the Daniel Boone. Daniel Boone's a big, vast, it's a big place. But I watched that tree shaking video of Kurt's green Dogman faces in it, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
green.
That's a 55-second long video, that tree shaking video, right? It's 55 seconds long. That thing is right there shaking that tree and running around, and you can't get one image of what it is.
Exactly. And just to say, like, Kirk was like one of the innovators of doing Dogman research, because if not everyone knows, but he was actually doing it before. He actually got DDoS into the whole BDRP, and DDoS started that whole BDRP group. But Kirk Stokes was going out, taking him out, showing him all the the footage. And
Kirk told me he never met him. He said, I never met DDoS. Yeah.
But once he comes back from his little vacation in the his Club Fed, whatever he's at, but
Club Fed.
I think he's gonna come back and try to get back where start off where he was left off, because he was doing a really lot of good work, and it's just sad that some of these groups they do a lot of good work, and they're just about to have something really, really, really extreme come out with some kind of evidence or footage, and then all of a sudden, blam, that happened to him. So
I was told that he done a couple people wrong too. I'm not gonna mention any names, but he done a couple people wrong as far as money and a few other things. So I don't know. I don't know if anybody really. I mean, it's hard. It's just hard to trust people. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what people's intentions are, especially when there's money involved, and especially in the cryptid. It's already weird enough what we're doing.
It's sketchy enough, and once you get burnt, once somebody burns you once, and for a nice sum, it's like never again. So he might.
Yeah. And in
I pray for him.
In this community, no one's really getting paid for it either. I mean,
no.
A lot of these guys who are getting on these shows, Monsters and Mysteries in America, they're not making really anything off of that. They're just you're able to see them on TV.
Well, let's talk about this real quick. What do you guys think that thing is in Kurt's video with the green eye? Because I'm not seeing anything like that. Nothing like that. So, I mean, that's something totally different. What do you think it is?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
It's definitely canine-ish. It's got ears, and it's got
ears.
So, I mean, is it a demon? Is it possessed? Is it
could be some unknown from another dimension for all we know.
Skinwalker? I mean,
that's $1 million question. Quite frankly, I don't know if I'd want to walk up on it.
No.
Quite frankly, if we walk into the woods and see that same damn creature, I don't think I'll even take a shot of it. I think I'm out. I
think a 50 cal probably wouldn't do nothing to it either.
Yeah, man, no way. I'd be gone.
Well, if you were to watch that whole video, that raw footage video, it kind of looks like at the beginning that Kirk knows it's there, and then he pans back around and he sees it and zooms in, and he watches it for however long, and then he kind of pans back out to the right and then comes back, and that thing is just gone as quick as he panned back around.
Well, if you watch it when you get off here, you'll notice that he zooms in on it, and I don't think Kurt realized what he was looking at. And I think you can tell when he does realize it, because that's when he drops the camera down.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I've got the original footage. See, even though I sent you the long raw video, there's still about another minute of sky and ground. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah. And
Kurt,
that is some epic footage, man. I mean, I haven't, unless someone has it and hadn't shared it, but I haven't seen nothing like that.
Well, I've got it. You know what I'm saying? But we edited that out. But I mean, his sister was there with him, and she was not having it. And she was ready to go, and she was going. So
I imagine.
Is there a way you can share it right now with share screen or no?
No, it's the raw footage.
It's the raw footage.
The only people that's ever seen it is Rick and Kyle. You two are, and besides me, you guys are the only ones that's ever seen the raw footage. Yeah. And did you ever see the video on YouTube when Kurt had it up?
I've seen a lot of his stuff. I don't remember exactly, how long ago it's been, but I remember seeing a lot of his stuff. Yeah, he's got great footage of just a little bit of everything.
Well, he had that werewolf video in there. It was called Bigfoot Watches Me for a long time. I was on there for like 7 or 8 years.
Yeah.
I thought everybody in the Dogman community had seen it. I just assumed that they had.
Yeah, I've seen it.
But the raw footage, what happened was Kurt opened his camera like this and was filming it with his cell phone off his viewfinder. You know what I'm saying? And he posted it up to YouTube that way. But now with the raw footage, you can see like the shoulder muscles, the hair on its shoulder and stuff. You can just see so much more detail in it, man. And I'm sure that, Kurt wouldn't mind if Rick shared it with you and let you watch it or whatever, or sent you a clip from it. You know what I'm saying?
I'm sure Kurt would. I'm friends with Kirk,
Yeah, Kurt knows, I'm not like that. I'll ask before I do anything with his footage. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when do you guys plan on releasing your documentary?
If everything goes as we have it planned at this moment, the first couple of months of 2022. But if there's any kind of little setback, it'll be mid-year.
What's the availability on it? Is it going to be like buying? Are you guys going to like cut and copy like DVDs and send them out for a certain price to like the website or the group, or how are you going to go about? Or are you going to try to get it on Amazon or something like that? Prime.
Initially we thought Amazon, but we're going to talk about that when I get up there.
Okay.
I know there's different platforms we can release it on. Initially we thought Amazon. We're still not sure yet. Right now we're just focused on getting the documentary together and doing some more research.
Well, I mean, if we're able to make enough money, to be able to even help Kurt out, with situation he has and all that stuff, then I would be tickled to death. I'm not doing it for money. No. If we make some money, that's great. It'd be great to have a few dollars for the time we put in, but I'm not doing it for that reason.
If anything, you use the money to pay for what you got into it and break even, and that's all that really matters, because it's not, like I said, it's not about getting rich in this, like, the true authentic research and investigation people don't care about. I mean, there's authors out there that give all their donations, their money to donation. They donate to charity because they don't care about the profit. Yeah. And that's how you guys are. I mean, you guys are humble. You don't care about getting rich and famous. You just want the truth out there, just like myself. Because the truth, there's nothing better than getting the truth out there to the people that that are like skeptical, or that either the non-believers or even the believers, just to give them something like the golden goose of freaking evidence. I mean, you guys have that stuff. I mean,
absolutely.
Your trailer is amazing. That one picture with that face. I mean, it's almost. It reminds me. I mean, I know it's Dogman, but it just for some reason it reminds me of the Conan when the Serpent Man turns into when James Earl Jones turns into the serpent. Like
Conan, yeah.
That's what it reminds me of.
The side of the face don't look like hair. It looks like
scaly.
Yeah.
It almost has like that scaly look.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely an odd looking picture, which that's what posed the question. What is that? What is that?
We got a question from Steve Riley, Rick. You want to put it up?
Yeah. Do you believe the government will start cracking down on people because the evidence is getting better every day? All right, Tom, start it out.
Well, it's only a matter of the stuff that people put out there, the people that ask questions, the asking questions, the constantly putting it out there, the constant, confronting. I'm not going to say any names, any organizations, any little alphabet agencies, but I've done it before. And strangely, my phone went black, and I lost everything to my phone. So obviously, when you're starting to get the truth out there, when you're starting to, I would say, push little nerves in certain, places, higher ups, that they'll do their best to try to either silence you or, kind of just shut you down or whatever the case may be. So, I mean, maybe this documentary needs to be a secret. I don't know.
Yeah.
Who knows?
I've been told, there's a line you can't cross, but I'm a habitual line stepper, so.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
The rebels.
Yep.
Kentucky, Texas, it's rebel states.
Yep.
North Carolina. We're
Yep.
all rebel states.
Yeah, you tell us we can't do it, we're gonna do it.
We'll worry about it when it happens, I guess.
Yeah.
My God.
Like I said, they want to come knock on my door. They got a surprise waiting. And that's the truth.
Couple of them.
Yeah. Yeah. So, with that, Steve, honestly, I don't know what the government's line is, but I can tell you we're probably pushing it with this documentary. But, you know, it's not going to keep us from doing what we're doing and getting the truth out. We're going to put this documentary out at no matter what cost. That's just the way I feel about it.
Worst case scenario, just put it up as entertainment instead of instead of learning and teaching. Put it up as entertainment, so it can't be tampered with or cut out.
Well, I talked to Jody Cook on the phone, and when I talked about the government to him, he laughed.
Mm-hmm.
He said the government don't know shit more than you do. You know, they don't know. And the more I see all these creatures, I'm starting to believe it, man. You can't even capture one on camera, so I can't even imagine capturing one in, like, alive. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They got technology out there that
sure they do.
They got these ultrasonic sound weapons that can, pretty much put them down and almost like they're in excruciating pain, put them down and go get like a team, seven-man team, whether they tranquilize or they put a couple rounds in it and put it in some 12 by 12 solid steel titanium cage and haul it off with a Huey.
Well, and that's the other night. Somebody was doing a live, and I mentioned it, but there's something on that Gaia channel.
Gaia's good.
It's
Gaia's
got
good.
Jack Carey's on there, and he does a little interview with some woman, but he's talking about a project that they had done where a guy had spent $500,000 of his own money to do this research on Bigfoot, and they ended up tranquilizing meat and nailing it to a tree in this area where this female Bigfoot, I don't know if it was juvenile, probably in her 20s, whatever he said, but she ended up eating that meat. And I don't know if you've ever seen that video. It says Bigfoot caught sleeping.
Uh-huh.
He says that's real now. Jack Carey says that's a real video of a Bigfoot that they knocked out with tranquilizers in meat.
Oh, wow.
So, I mean, you can go watch it on Gaia. It's pretty cool, but
I know which video you're talking about with the Bigfoot sleeping because you could almost see its stomach going up and down like it's breathing, and it's just laid out like it's passed out.
Well, to me, when I watched the video before I knew the story, it looked kind of staged, like somebody had just threw some leaves on top of it while it was laying there. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I don't know, but I like Jack Carey. He seems to be a legit guy, so I'll take his word for it. But he said that guy that spent that $500,000 of his own money didn't ask for a dime back, and he didn't make a dime back.
He had something to prove it.
He did. Most definitely.
He had the money to put out, and that's all he cared about.
Yeah,
we need more of those people out there in the community that just got the money to blow, and they got unlimited funds to do whatever they want and put it out there.
That's how David Pilates got started, and two people funded him. They said prove that Bigfoot exists or that it don't, but there's no expense spared. Do whatever you got to do, and he did.
Yep. Wow. And I just watched that the other night, the Missing 411, The Hunted, and I showed it to my wife, and I thought she was going to fall asleep through it. She stayed up through the whole thing. And like, wow, that was pretty interesting. I'm like, yeah, what do you think it is? She goes, that's a good question.
Well, anybody that's got kids, it's interesting.
That's it's gut wrenching because when they talk about that little boy being dragged off at the camp back in the 60s or early 70s.
Dennis Martin?
I forget Dennis Martin. What state was that?
Tennessee, and that was in the Smoky Mountains.
Tennessee and the Smoky Mountains. And wasn't there an eyewitness like a couple miles away that said they saw like a bear on two legs with a little something carrying something?
Well, it was the Key family. The last name was Key. And they went to the park rangers and asked if they wanted to see some bears, and he told them where to go. Well, while they was up there, the little boy that was with them was like, look, a bear, and his dad was looking, and he's like, that don't look like no bear. He said it was something running on two legs, and it had something over its shoulder. He couldn't tell, but they went, David Pilates and Scott Carpenter went in there and walked that trip from where that little boy went missing to where that family spotted that thing just to see if it was possible to make that trip in that amount of time. And it was, they did it, just at a steady walk. So.
Wow. That just, when you got kids, that really is a gut-wrenching story because, you think about, hiking with your kids and God forbid something happened. It's like, I don't know what I would do. And I don't even want to think about it.
No, absolutely not. And that poses a lot of interest to me because when I interviewed Old Bear, he gave me a lot of good information on why some people go missing. Like he said, there was a lot of accounts that he's investigated where Bigfoots, blonde women, and blonde kids are the most susceptible to being taken. And redheads are the second, and it has something to do with the hair color.
Okay, listen to this. Anybody that's listening to this right now, I'll give you advice. If you want to see a cryptid, if you want to catch one on camera, I'm going to give you some advice. I've said this 3 or 4 times, 5 times to people and in posts and everything. And that's what bothers me is because nobody pays attention to the shit that you learn.
They don't.
Go out to an area, any little redneck swimming hole out in the woods, any place where kids party, any place where kids play. Go out there. If there's a tree line, go in there, film it while kids and stuff are out there playing, and then see what you get and let me know.
Yep.
You know what's funny, because my backyard butts up against a wood line, and I got one of those like horse split rail fences with chicken wire, covering to keep any little dogs from getting out, because I got 2 little dogs. But over the years, since my kids were small, they'd be playing right along the wood line on their swing set, and every now and then they'd say that they hear like a weird humming noise and a weird like whistle noise, and I'm like, yeah, I always just dismissed it as whatever. But it's funny that you say that, because when they're out there, they're yelling, they're screaming, they're laughing, and that's the biggest attractant to like any kind of cryptid, Bigfoot, Dogman, whatever, because they, for some reason, they really get a joy of watching kids.
Well, and you can even take a Bluetooth speaker out there, blast the sound of kids playing and stuff.
Let me tell y'all something that happened to me. I think back in March. I went out to my property, and in the front of my property, it is a little wood line, and then about 150 to 200 yards in front of that, kind of at a 45-degree angle, there's an elementary school. And behind that elementary school is a little playground. So every day at about 2:30 to about 3:30, the kids were outside. I happened to go in the woods one day checking trail cameras. And this is no lie. I went in the woods about 2:15-ish. Was walking through there changing out SD cards. As I'm walking through, I hear the kids start coming outside. And you can hear them. The sound carries out there because the front of my wood line at the back of the property, to the front of the property is about 300 yards. And then another 150 to 200 yards is that playground. I'm walking through these woods. I hear these kids, and they're getting loud. That sound is carrying. And as I'm walking through these woods checking these trail cameras, I'm hearing knocks. One knock the entire time. Just one knock. Wow. And it kept catching my attention. And as I was coming out, I caught a whoop.
Yeah.
Of course, I wasn't recording that day. I'm carrying, of course, my assault rifle. I'm carrying a backpack with SD cards, all kind of other stuff. I had my hands full. Had I been able to,
man.
Yeah.
Joe Biden might be listening.
Yeah, you sure right. But had I been recording, I'd have caught it, because I get real good audio out there. I've gotten vocalizations, I've gotten growled at, I've gotten whooped at, and the most activity is either when school is letting out or real early in the morning, like at about 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
Other than that, in the summertime, you go in there during the day, nothing.
I'm sure recess too. Recess when they're out playing in the field and that in the schoolyard. That's a lot of activity going, because they hear all them. There's hundreds of kids out there playing out in the field.
Yep. And that, when I talked to Old Bear, and he said, "Oh man, yeah, we're people are their entertainment. If they come up upon a house, they'll look in your window and watch TV. They're curious. They're curious creatures.
Yeah, they are.
So just like a Dogman, hell, just like when Paul goes out, why is he being watched all the time? They're curious.
Well, and I found that when I go down there, like when me and Ricardo, when we went down there, we heard a whoop, a loud one, very distinct. We heard little knocks here and there. We had activity, but nothing like I do when I go down there and the place is packed.
Yeah.
When there's a bunch of people down there riding four-wheelers and people swimming. And so, yeah, I mean, the more people down there, the better it is.
Yeah, most definitely. Most definitely. And, you know, that, I'm going to say most of my activity since we've gotten that property, we got it last year in August, and most of the activity has been through the school year. The only evidence I've got since the start of the summer is that one picture of the Dogman, which I seen with, I seen it in the viewfinder. He was there. I even showed my 16-year-old son. I said, look. And what was crazy about that is he had my rifle. He picked it up to look through the optic, and when he did, he said the thing turned its head. The Dogman turned its head.
So it knew what a gun
So
was.
it
knew the boom.
It knew.
Boomstick. That's what they know. You know.
It knew. It knew. After that, he was like, man, I think we need to go. All right, yeah, we can go. I done got what I wanted to get. I mean, of course, I wanted to stay out there, but if he's not safe, I'm gonna pull out.
I'll be honest. Had somebody said to me when I'm saying to you guys about what I'm seeing now, this time last year, I would have laughed.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So I was a flesh and blood. I still am a flesh and blood researcher, but I'm not going to ignore the evidence just because it don't line up with what I believe or what I formerly believed. You know, some of the things that I'm starting to see now are just they make me scratch my head for sure.
That's the woo factor everybody talks about. Like I said, some people are in the flesh and blood, you know, ballpark, and others are in the woo. But I think there's a little correlation of both of them combined. There's a little bit of each, and somehow they both intermingle in these cryptids. Somehow, I don't know if it's like an ancient power they possess, or maybe they train their conscious to be, you know, have some kind of supernatural abilities. I mean, there's no other way to explain it because you've seen so much crazy stuff that it makes you scratch your head. And same thing with you, Rick. I mean, like cloaking and this and that, the other thing. I mean, it's incredible.
Yeah, we've got pictures of the cloaking. We got pictures of it.
It's like a predator, right?
But yeah.
Have you showed them to Tom that one I showed you today that was like that looked like it was cloaked? Nothing else in the picture looked like that. I don't know, man.
I don't think I saw that yet.
It is this one right here. I don't know if you can see it, Tom.
Yeah.
It is that one right there.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know if you. I'll send it to you, Tom, whenever we. When we get off here, but.
It's almost like it's got a shimmering factor to it. Like it's it has like a shimmer glow, like just like exactly like the movie Predator. It makes you wonder, like, that when that movie came out, maybe they knew something and they're just, you know, kind of putting disclosure at little tidbits.
I can't even watch that movie anymore without hunting for Dogman through the whole movie.
Exactly.
Frame by frame.
It's hard to discern what's there, but you can tell it's definitely different from the rest of the outside of that picture.
Absolutely.
It's I don't know, and that's more of the questions than answers that we're getting. You know, Paul's gotten video of, and I seen it. He sends it to me, and you go frame by frame, you can see these creatures sitting there, and one of them looked like it was white starbursts, like just white pops right above the head. A bunch of them, just boom, 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 and then another one you can see white and green orbs just floating out the top, going straight up. Straight up.
That's another thing that everyone talks about. Now, what's your take on both of you guys? Because I mean, I've gotten to see like orbs associated with. I've seen orbs, but nothing associated with cryptids. What's your guys' takes on that?
Dude, you don't even know. I've got some videos. Listen, I've got some videos. I'm getting eaten up by mosquitoes. We're opening my garage door. I just had to light my candle here. But I've got some videos. These orbs are coming out of something in a tree, and it looks like a tube. You can see two eyes, and it looks like it's got a nose that starts real skinny and gets real wide at the end, and it's a tube. And you can see this orb come through that tube. It swells up like a snake eating an egg. How you can see the egg go down?
Yeah.
Well, it looks like that as the orb's coming out. And you can see this orb come out the end of this tube. And if you watch the video and stuff, you can see orbs going into it. So, I mean, you guys just have no idea. No idea what kind of footage I've got and stuff I've seen.
Yeah.
Damn.
and I've only seen a fraction of it.
I don't know how to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. It's hard enough to talk about, Dogman as it is in the picture, let alone saying, well, look, this one's green, or, this one's 60 foot in a tree, or, it's just hard to tell people that when they're having a hard time believing there's even a Dogman in the picture to begin with.
Absolutely. And there's a lot of people out there that are trying, like we talked about earlier, in these groups. The first thing they're asked to have an open mind, and yet it's just a continuation. Oh, those are just blurry trees. Listen, in order to be in this type of field, you have to have an open mind. It's just like,
well, you have to be interested in research.
Yeah, it's just like one person said: if you believe in God, you got to believe in the devil.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The biggest shit on you is these people that say the pareidolia, but pareidolia is a total different scenario. It's when you're thinking of something. Like say the Waldo factor. You guys remember those old pictures in the mall back in the day where it says, "Look at this image," and it's just a big old blurry thing, and it says, you're supposed to see like a shark or a bear or whatever the case is. That's pareidolia. This is what you guys getting is total different. Well, you really got to look at your footage. You can see it if you really look for it.
Well, once camera angles and shadows and things change,
sunlight
and the face remains. It's not pareidolia.
It's not pareidolia.
No.
Listen to this. He got a picture, I want to say he sent it to me about 2 months ago, maybe, he happened to get in March. And this creature looked of something that definitely ain't supposed to be there. It looked like a goddamn lizard. That's what it looked like.
I remember that. That's the lizard band picture.
He said
it looked like almost like that old meme Kermit the Frog with the Jedi.
The
Jedi robot
thing. I said it looked like that thing from Mario Brothers, that little green thing he used to ride.
Yoshi.
Yoshi.
Yeah. And you know what? It and like Tom said, it does resemble Kermit the Frog. And if you look at it, at one frame, it's just sitting there, mouth closed. The next frame, the mouth is open.
Grin on its face or something.
And then the mouth opens in the next frame.
The grin.
And then he shoots it at a different angle, and you can see a different angle of the head. Now that can't be that's not pareidolia.
No, that wasn't pareidolia at all.
Absolutely
and
not.
That's another clear as day picture. If you look right at the spot where, if you circle that and you post it out to 100 people, 98 people are going to see exactly what you're saying, and then the 2 people are going to be like, "Oh, I don't see nothing as pareidolia," blah blah blah. So.
Well, most of the good pictures that I find that I have, where I found them accidentally by looking at something else in the picture and just so happened to notice it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And like that. I've got a Dogman on 2 legs. That picture went nowhere.
Hell, he's got video of one on 2 legs running, dropping down to 4.
We got another question from Steve Riley.
Where are we at? Oh, there we go. It's a hard question, but have you prepared yourself and loved ones if you don't come back from an investigation?
Absolutely.
That's funny you say that, because my wife just told me last night, after watching Missing 411 the night before, she's like, "I really don't want you to go to Kentucky." I'm like, "Well, just be prepared if I don't come back. You have the house and everything, plus the kids.
You'll be back."
I better get a life insurance policy if that's the case.
I already got one, and it's a big one, so she might be like, he might just stay up there.
That's what we need. We need people like Tom and you and Ricardo, a bunch of people come up here and let's do a big night investigation out there.
I wish y'all lived closer, because I'm in like South Central North Carolina, right on the border of South Carolina by Rock Hill, and it's probably like a 5.5, 6 hour ride to get to you guys. And I really wish we lived close. Yeah, it's probably longer than that, and I wish we lived closer, because we could probably meet up halfway and camp out somewhere. It's probably 5 hours to LBL. I think. No, it's more.
LBL. It'll be more than that.
You're about. I live in Central Kentucky. LBL's in Western Kentucky. You're about 8 hours from me, because I used to live in King, North Carolina.
Okay.
You know where that is?
That's high up in the mountains.
That's all the way
That's
up
all
on the border of
top
Virginia.
north. Yep.
Yeah. So, and it took me 5 hours to get from there to eastern Kentucky. So it's about an 8-hour drive from where you're at, or well, probably longer. I don't know.
Shit, that's it. I'm driving 14, 15 hours.
You know what? I think in September or October, C. Wayne, can't think of his last. C. Wayne from Manimal Research is having a Bigfoot camp outing in Tennessee, and that's only like a 4.5 hour drive from me. But I don't know how far it is from you guys.
That's the week I'm going up there.
You're going to Tennessee?
Well, Paul and I talked about it and talked about going because Old Bear messaged me and said, "Hey, I really want you to come up, get you some exposure." And I'm like, "Well, you're in luck because I pushed I moved my trip up a month to September instead of October, and that's the same week he's having that Squatch out. It's the TTWV Squatch out.
That's for the Manimal Research one.
Yeah, and that's in Copper Hill, Tennessee.
Copper Hill, yeah.
Well, I'm going down to the Bigfoot convention this weekend coming up. David Pilates, Scott Carpenter, whatever that other guy, I can't remember now. But there's a bunch of people going to be there.
Yeah.
Where's that? Kentucky?
It's in Tennessee, Gatlinburg.
Okay.
Gatlinburg.
Okay, Gatlinburg. Okay.
Yeah, I think Copper Hill's not far from Gatlinburg.
No, it's not. Because C. Wayne Tutterell told me it's like an hour, if that, from Gatlinburg. And I told him I'd like to go. So if you guys want to go to that one, I'm definitely game for going to the one in Tennessee. Whether I can't remember the date, but he said he's going to send me the invite.
It's either the 4th and 5th or the 5th and 6th.
You know, I'm pack heavy.
Whatever that weekend is, because they're going to do a night investigation.
See, I've had an encounter when I was younger with one. So, I mean, I feel like night investigations are for people who are, kind of wanting to have some activity and have something happen. I already know. You know what I'm saying? I'm well aware of what's out there. So
I know.
Like when I went out, go ahead.
When I talked to Oat Bear, he told me they're going to the Daniel Boone, I think the first week of August, which is in 2 weeks? A week and a half, 2 weeks? What he told me, there was a lot of reported sightings of a Gugway.
Really?
Yep. And that someone
That's
up
the face eater.
Yep, and that someone up there's having problems with it. So he said he's gonna go up there and try and help them with that issue.
Flashbangs.
Yep.
See, Kurt said that werewolf looking thing on camera was built like a gorilla, and was moving like one. And well, you've seen the pictures that I posted when Ricardo was down here.
Yeah.
You seen them, Tom? You commented on all those knuckle prints in the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, what else is that? And they were all over
walking on knuckles.
Yeah, that's all it could have been.
Or they were running on fours, but they were using their knuckles because Kumbo's and I don't know if you remember Kumbo and Bear from what that was. They said when they run on all fours, they're using their knuckles on their front hands to like almost like hoops.
Some of them knuckles was that long.
Oh, hell yeah.
They were huge, man.
That's crazy. But like I said, with your first encounter, my first encounter happened right at dusk. 60 to 80 yards away out in Ontario, Canada, when I was bear hunting with my brother. We seen the silhouette of something that was, it was huge. It was at least 8 to 10 foot tall, and it was wide as crap. And we knew what a moose looked like because the day before we saw a moose run up next to our the Suburban that we were with the hunting guide baiting the bear, the bear tree stands that were hunting bear. So we knew it wasn't a bear. We knew it wasn't a moose. And this thing, it was just standing so damn big, and as it took off. You could hear 2 footsteps back and forth, and it actually shook the ground. And even though we were 60 to 80 yards away, we could still feel it. And as we left that trail, we went back towards where the logging road trails were, where vehicles can go down, and we're being flanked by something. It almost sounded like a cross between like gorillas and wolves at the same time. And I always call it the Army of the Orcs, Lord of the Rings, because that's what it reminded me of. It reminded me of the Army of the Orcs marching to the woods, and they were flanking us from 40 to 50 yards away. And luckily, the hunting guide came by with the Suburban. We saw the headlights, and we were safe. But me and my brother, we thought we were going to die that night. It was scary. experience. But
Well,
after that, like nighttime, it's like nighttime is where you get the stuff either dusk till night because that's when they're most active.
see, I've
Yep.
had a lot of luck in the morning times,
Yep.
early mornings down there. If there's people there, first 2 or 3 people there, like they was people camping down there, and they were about 100 yards from us when that growl happened.
Yeah.
So it just blows my mind that people stay down there, like how oblivious the average person is to what's going on.
They don't believe. They don't believe. They don't. They they don't mind it. They don't. That doesn't faze them at all because
you
they
can
don't believe.
stop and tell them, and they don't even care.
For those interested, if y'all want to hear that growl, I actually have it right here. I'm gonna play that for y'all.
Go for it.
One more time.
That's pretty crazy, man.
Wow.
That is that, and the original video, you would have to put on headphones, a good quality set of headphones, and crank it all the way up, and even then you could barely hear it. I had to put that in Adobe Premiere and enhance it, and man, it sounds wicked.
Yeah, it sounded wicked there.
I imagine.
It was loud. Like there was no mistaking it. Like there wasn't no me looking at him and saying, "Was that a growl?" I mean, it was very distinct and very close. We knew exactly what it meant too.
You can tell by the camera movement.
Yeah.
You can definitely tell by the camera movement.
Well, I didn't run, believe it or not. I turned around and walked, and you can hear me say, "I was like, is that?" I said, "Are you fucking kidding me?" You know what I'm saying? I couldn't believe it. But I walked back about 30 yards and turned around and started filming the area that I thought it came from, and I got it on camera, but it looks like a cat that's hiding in the weeds, like it's getting ready to pounce on something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what it looks like. It's got its ears pinned back, and you can see it. You can see it. Look, it almost looks like it's growling in the pictures that I got. But yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know why it growled.
What's Carlito got there? It says, yeah, I'm wondering if they are starting to follow me now because they know I believe in them. Yeah, Carlito,
Yeah.
Once you put the energy from your mind, your conscious, into believing that they're around, they're going to feed off that energy and they're going to show you them. They're going to reveal themselves to you. Exactly.
And you know what? That brings up a good point, Paul. Tell them about the picture you sent me a day or two ago from your backyard.
Oh yeah. That's what I was hearing you say. Here in just the last 2 weeks, I've got 2 big dogs, right? And they're house trained dogs. They know to go outside, and we let them out pretty regularly. But now they're getting to the point where one of our dogs will go outside and it won't even use the bathroom. It turns around and it's right back on the door wanting in. You know what I'm saying? So, and that dog's never acted like that in the 3 years that me and her been together, because that's her dog. And then I've got the husky. So they go outside and they went right back in. They ain't trying to have nothing to do with outside, and they used to love it. So I don't know what's going on out there, but yeah, I snapped that picture the other night while I was out there because it just dawned on me, like, what if something's here around I live in the suburbs. There's places all around me. You know, there's a tree here and there, but I took that picture and I don't know what's in it, if anything. It looks odd, though. I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on. Something's causing them dogs to not want to go out, though.
That just goes to prove that, it doesn't matter where you live, because I live in the suburbs too. I'm in the outskirts of Charlotte. I got activity on my property, but I got, probably 50 plus acres of woods behind my house, and then it butts up to a creek, and the creek is a water source. There's plenty of deer. There's, last week I saw about 10 bucks at one of my neighbors' houses because they feed them corn and they got salt licks in their front yard. Well, there was 10 bucks in velvet right in their front yard last week eating the corn. So there's plenty of deer. There's plenty of food. Go ahead. There's a question.
Paul, what do you think about the goat man being in Louisville?
I haven't never seen the goat man or any evidence of it. I haven't never looked either. So do I think it's possible for it to exist? Absolutely, I do. And I won't ever call anybody a liar if they say they've seen it, because I don't like being called a liar. So, saying that they've seen a goat man to me is no different than saying you've seen a dog man.
Yeah.
I know people in the chat. Noogie and B-Boss.
Yeah, B's in there. Of course, Steve Riley. I know the other night, speaking to B, when we interviewed Greg Yost, the subject of Goatman came up, and he's got an actual print.
Yeah, I seen that.
Actual print of a Goatman. And
That's a serious print, you know.
Yeah, that's pretty large.
And you know, it's weird. I've noticed, you know, that those prints. I can't say because I've never seen it, but I have a print in my backyard. I was talking to somebody about it last week, and I don't know if I mentioned to you guys, but it looks like a deer print. But the thing is, the deer print looks like it's 4 inches long and like 2.5 to 3 inches wide. So I don't know if they double step into their prints on the ground.
They do.
They do.
Yeah.
Okay, because I mean, they said this thing was like 4. It was almost like it was a double print, but they double stepped in the hoof print.
Yeah. They do that. They do that often down here.
I was like, wow, that's huge.
Yeah.
But that was only 4 inches long by like what Greg had. That was like, oh, you know,
Dude, it was massive.
It was the size of a
And it had dew claws too.
Exactly.
Yeah, it was massive, very massive, and you know he talked about. I want to say that there's only maybe 2 or 3 that he knows of. One in Maryland, one there at Louisville. I've also heard of the one in Dallas. There at is it Goatman's Bridge?
Yeah, Goatman's Bridge.
Yeah, something like that. That's up in Dallas.
David from Texas mentioned that
Yeah.
it's like there's a tail to it as well.
And what a lot of people don't know is the little town where I do my hunting, where my property is. My sister has had 2 separate encounters of a goat-like creature there.
I always heard that the Goatman was evil. I don't know how true that is, but
You know, some say it's demonic. Some say it's a satyr. Satyr is is a cryptid that has like goat-like attributes with a human-like face and has like the hoofs and the hocks.
Yeah.
Lower part of a goat and the top part of a man, but it still has
the horns. Yeah.
That's to me that's a little bit more terrifying than a Dogman. I don't know about you guys.
I don't know.
Yeah, you show right.
The problem is there's too many movies that show these things that these little kid movies and what was it Narnia, Chronicles of Narnia.
Yeah.
So when you see all these movies, it's like whatever. It's just a goat person. But go ahead, Rick. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah, no, you're good. But she had 2 separate encounters. Actually, when I first started the podcast, she came on, and this was one of the encounters she never told me about. And there used to be a golf course there, and it shut down 3 or 4 years ago. And when she worked there in her senior year of high school and right out of high school, she was. It ended up being a slow day. It was on a Sunday, I believe. It ended up being a slow day. She shut it down early, and of course she plays golf, so she went and played. It was a 9-hole course. She played hole 3, which was right next to the clubhouse, and it kind of whipped around, it whipped around the clubhouse going toward the old sulfur plant. Then it came back around, and when you finish up on hole 6, you're looking right at the clubhouse. And she said she was teeing off, and right there on that hole, there's a fence line, and it's a big field, but there's small little areas of tall brush. And in that back corner, there's a little bit of woods. And in the evening time and at night, it gets friggin' dark, like way dark. As she teed off, she got in the cart, went to her second shot, and she could hear something coming towards her. And she looked, and she described this creature on all 4s, about 6 foot tall.
Oh, wow.
With horns. She said she could see the front part, what had kind of like a massive chest. The feet looked like were hooves, and the back legs, what she described, had haunches.
Damn.
And she said it charged her, and that she got in the cart and took off. And as she took off, she said she started praying the whole way. Went through the ditch. The golf cart wouldn't make it up the ditch. She got out, grabbed her 7-iron, turned around as she was praying, and it was gone.
Oh, wow. Well, you were described this. I think someone had a question about the size, but you said it was 6 something plus foot, right?
6. It was. She described it as about 6 foot tall on all 4s.
Oh, wow.
On all 4s.
So that had to be at least, if it was on 2, it had to be at least 10 to 12 foot tall.
At least. She said what she described, the upper part it looked bulky, looked massive, but the as in was real skinny.
Oh, wow.
Real skinny.
And just touching on one thing when we first started, you were saying, Paul, like in the beginning, like how fast they were,
Yeah.
how they move so fast, these Dogman. If you guys remember the blue footage, that's a blur. I mean, you could see it in slow motion. You could see like the formation of it running, but that just goes to show you how quick these things are. I mean, that thing was like a blur as fast as it was, and you see, like, I mean, that's what you guys see out in the field. It's just like a flash almost.
Is that the one out of Florida?
That was one out of four. Yeah, the guy
Yeah.
he filmed it on like Facebook Live, so
Yeah.
there's no way he could have faked it because it was Facebook Live. There's no
Yeah.
way you can CGI, you can screenshot, you can use Photoshop. You can't do that on a Facebook Live video. He caught something. He caught a Dogman running, and it was just so fast that the flash is
And you know what? That's funny you bring that up because yesterday I got a notification on my YouTube. I posted the trailer to YouTube and a guy posted the only legit video I seen was the what is it, the Fort Pierce, St. Pierce?
Yeah, Fort Pierce, Florida.
Fort Pierce, Florida Dogman. That's the only legit video I seen, and I'm sitting here thinking, really, dude? That's nothing but a blur. Look into the eyes of what's on that trailer.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's a couple people. I think somebody broke it down in slow motion. I don't know. I forget who did. I don't know if MK Davis done it or somebody broke it down. Like they broke that video down in like a slow motion, frame by frame, and you can kind of see better close. A better, clearer shot of the image. But like you said, it says it's a blur. It really is. It's a blur. And if you don't have the trained eye to see that, what it is, then you're not going to know what it is.
And you know what? If people think that that's legit with what we're putting out there, how can that not be legit?
Exactly.
Well, who, even though that was live, how did it get, I don't know, I guess. Yeah, okay. I don't know, man. Definitely something runs by. I mean, and it looks big, so.
It's
fast.
big.
You said it was a blur. It was absolutely a blur.
It's definitely fast. It's definitely fast. But to say that's legitimate and say all this other footage, especially the stuff we're posting, is not legitimate. There's illegitimacy to it. It's nothing but trees. It's all I see is blurred trees. This and that. Listen, if you believe a blur is a Dogman, how can you discredit what's in that trailer?
Exactly.
And that's what I have a real problem with.
People are just.
There are your occasional people that post stuff that just you can't see nothing whatsoever.
Yeah.
And you guys are not those people. You guys are posting. I mean, you can see something's there. Like that last shot. Share that last screenshot where you see the dog face, what we talked about, Rick.
Let's see. This one here?
Yep. You can see look at that face. I mean, that's a clear
See, I've
face.
got that picture because I had that thing on camera for about 15, 20 seconds. I've got that thing. There's another one right behind it you can't see in this picture, but I've got a picture where you can. There's two of them standing there. There's another one right to the left of it.
Yeah.
Standing in the background, and it kind of comes forward too throughout the video.
Yeah, and that's a lot of the stuff, and I don't know if it's because these creatures blend so well. I mean, they're
that
a lot.
One with the pupil. That one with the pupil, to me personally, is the best picture I've got.
The one with the green and the red.
No, the other one where you can see the brow ridge, where it looks like a baboon or whatever.
Oh yeah.
That, to me personally, that's the best picture I've got. Just because of how it looks, you know what I'm saying? It looks menacing, like it's pissed off probably or something. I don't know.
It's probably trying to instill fear on you because you see it, so it's trying.
Well,
to
like you said earlier,
fear.
Tom, even these pictures you're seeing right now, as he's showing them, have been shared a couple of times.
Yeah.
So I mean, you can only imagine what they look like on my phone.
The original is going to look great,
And like I said earlier, man, I've said previously, when you post a picture to Facebook and, it's a Dogman group, when people look at it, they're looking for arms and legs and a face and stuff. And most times it's just a picture of a head. you know, and
it's just like what you said before. Everybody wants to see that GQ Van Helsing,
Yeah.
look at me shot with the the werewolf standing up there with its head up perfectly clear.
standing next to
They're
an
not going to
LBO
see
sign.
that. They're not going to see that. It's nothing like. I mean, obviously some of them are, but what you're seeing is nothing like that.
No, absolutely not. I'm trying to find one. Well, this one right here. Let's see. Let me load it up. I can tell you, this one right here, there's no way that you can discredit that. No way in hell. And that's one of the pictures in the documentary. That's going to be in the documentary.
The one I'm talking about is one that I got that the same day that I got those ones that you just showed a minute ago.
But I'm just saying that when you guys shared that to me personally, it's so much clearer than what you're showing it now.
Yeah, it is.
That just goes to show how pixelation works when it distorts, when you share it, when you constantly share it back and forth. Every time you share it, it's losing pixels. It's getting a little distorted. So there's nothing you can do about that. But like I said, when I saw the original one that you showed me first, when you first got it, that's the super clear as day.
Yeah, the one that I'm talking about is also in the trailer too.
Yeah. Well, that trailer footage, I mean, that face you could see, you could almost see like its cheek going back and forth, like it's moving its cheekbone almost.
Yeah.
And that's crazy.
There's one I'm trying to find, and I know I got it on here somewhere, where you could see a green pupil and a red pupil.
Oh, yeah.
I remember that one, yeah.
That's a crazy picture, man. That really is. That stunned me when I seen it. I was in total shock. I couldn't believe that. That was the first thing that I seen that I thought, maybe these things are supernatural,
And I know I got it here somewhere. It's just,
yeah,
it's definitely in the trailer. And you know what? Y'all can go see the trailer.
that's right.
B's saying check your message. She has a picture for you to share. If you want to share it, her Dogman.
All right, let me. Give me 1 second, y'all. Takes me a second to get there.
There's a serious delay between my phone and the computer of this live. It's crazy because like the chat on my phone is slower than what it's showing on the laptop.
Yeah.
I can't reply on my laptop though. I can only reply on my phone. So.
Okay, yeah, I see it.
So if I hit down here where it says chat, will it take the screen away or will it show the chat?
All I see is private chat.
Are you doing it off your phone?
Yeah.
It'll probably take away your screen, I think.
All right.
Let me see if I can find this real quick. 1 second, fellas. Okay, I got it. I'll load that up. Let's see.
I got the grass halfway mowed. My lawnmower's sitting out there in the yard and it's dark.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I got the luxury. My neighbor hooked me up with a Husqvarna all-wheel drive mower. So
that's the
B's
picture. Yeah, that's B's picture.
Okay. Yeah, you can see it right in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
You can see the face. I mean, it don't take rocket science to see that.
No,
I've seen
you can see
people
the face.
in the comments say they can't see that.
I mean, it's dark. It's darker than the shrubbery around it as well.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Looks like a Doberman.
Yeah. Yep, sure does.
And I think some other people said it looks like a Nubis. Other people have commented in the past.
Yeah.
We got another question from Steve.
There we go. I personally have not noticed that.
I don't even know that they travel.
Yeah. I know the Bigfoot were traveling a particular route on my property, and when I put trail cams up, they went to the other side of the creek knowing I wasn't crossing it.
Yeah. They know what those trail cams are about. They know better. They can sense that infrared. They can sense it.
Absolutely.
The frequency shuts it right off.
Let me ask you guys something. If you think that these things are interdimensional or supernatural or whatever, if you believe in God, it almost has to be something biblical. They have to be something biblical from fallen angels and stuff, right? Wouldn't that be the case if you believe that they're supernatural?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, when I had, if you guys remember, a couple weeks ago, I had Jack Carey.
Yeah.
I interviewed him, and I
Yeah.
asked him about what these things are, and he said he was involved. You know, I don't know if he was involved personally or he was like in on like on getting the evidence from some of these DNA tests. But he said these DNA tests of like Bigfoot and Dogman, that he's got like he's hurt. You know, he's got there's too much genetic sequencing of different variations of so much stuff that it can't be natural. It has to be alien. There's just too much jumbled into one DNA chromosome.
Oh, Scott Carpenter, Tom?
Yes. Yeah.
You do? You watched all his videos?
Yes.
He goes into great detail on the genome study and what they discovered and what he believes. And I believe him. I believe the same things he believes. You know, I kind of keep it to myself, and I don't push my beliefs on anybody else, or you know, what I'm saying? I don't discredit anybody if they don't believe that. But personally, that's what I believe. I believe these things are descendants of Nephilim.
Yeah.
I don't believe they're necessarily Nephilim, but I believe they're human hybrids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Absolutely.
like you said, they have spirits, and they have what we have. And you know, when fallen angels were kicked out of heaven, they were disembodied, right? That's why people get possessed here on Earth all the time, right?
Yeah.
So these dogmen are really susceptible to demonic, you know, possession because these demons are looking for a body, so
Exactly.
They need a host.
they're going to possess it.
Yeah. Here's a picture I'm gonna share with y'all. This is what I got 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
Oh, it's just trees, Rick.
Yeah, it's just trees. Yeah.
It's a bunch of trees.
Bunch of
trees,
bunch of trees. If you look at it close, you can see it.
It's there.
It's there.
A long way away, but I see it.
Yeah, that was about 40 or 50 yards. But that's the one I seen real clear through the viewfinder, and that my son pulled up the rifle at, and it moved his head.
That reminds me of if you guys remember the movie, was it Rampage?
Yes.
Yeah.
Remember that when that wolf got giant?
Yeah.
Reminds me of that giant wolf head a little bit, but like smaller, set back into trees. That wolf was huge.
Yeah.
That's funny how that movie came about. You know, these animals, these normal sized animals, took a scientific formulated chemical that they were injected with, and it made them grow substantially amount of 15 times bigger than their normal size. Look at George the Ape. I mean, he was the size of King Kong pretty much.
Yeah. I mean, I think if you're going to go out and do research of any kind, you need to get you some kind of mount that will mount to your vest or something where it'll hold your phone or a GoPro camera or whatever, because you're going to get out there and you're not going to, most of the time you'll catch something and see it, but you won't have your phone up or you won't be ready. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But, I mean, that's
and they can see you holding your phone too. They can see you doing that. They can see you moving your hand. They can see this. They can see that. They can see. They can see what you're doing. So when you have it set up like you said, like a mount, or even behind you, like you said, Scott Carpenter does it perfect. He does it reverse. So when they're behind him, he's getting them, and they don't even know because they just think he's walking, but he's got that little
thing that he's got. That's what I ordered.
Yeah,
It swivels when you bend over, move and stuff. It stays up straight.
Nice.
Awesome, man.
I'm gonna have to get me one before I go up there.
I mean, I personally think, the best footage I've got, I'll hold my phone like right here, and I'll only let it stick up above my shoulder about that far, and I'll record behind me. I'll kind of walk steady and make sure that I got my back turned to the right areas and stuff. And I've had some luck, man. I've been blessed as far as evidence stuff goes.
The funny thing is, the best pictures you get are the ones you're not expecting to get because you're just nonchalantly doing it, and then when you go back and check your footage, that's when you get you're getting the money shot right there.
That's what I'm looking for, man. I'm always trying to outdo my last picture, my best one. But like I said, I post anything I come across in the video. I'll post it for the people in the group because I know they like looking at that stuff. There is people in the group that are cool and like seeing that stuff. And I'm not just posting pictures of trees. I'm posting these out there, for them because like I told you guys, I'm way beyond pictures right now. I'm not. I've accomplished what I set out to do and then some.
Oh, absolutely.
At this point, I'm just going out trying to gather better evidence for the documentary.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I'll get that picture, that video one day.
Bear
All
with
right.
it. I'm looking for one of my faces in my woods so I could share it to Rick so he could put it up because I'm just trying to get it out there for everybody.
Yeah, come on, Tom, give us one, man. We
I mean, there's a bunch of them in my group. When I first started, I put them all in there, but you know how far you got to go back to find those pictures in the group. I mean, you know how old they are.
Yeah.
I guess I gotta start refreshing them and stuff.
Well, you can just go into your group and go to photos, and it'll be in there, not that far down.
Yeah. Or save it to your favorites on your phone.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna start making a favorites on my phone with all evidence and
that's what I do.
You know,
I've got over 3,000 pictures on my phone right now.
My thing keeps saying backup can't back up because my storage is full of iCloud. So.
Well, I mean, it's crazy that I keep the pictures, because I've got the videos. I can go back and get the pictures anytime I want.
Yeah.
But I keep them in case Rick or somebody or my mom or somebody we're working on this documentary needs the pictures. That way I can just jump in there and see them instead of go through the video again.
Still scrolling. Yeah, it's funny. A couple nights ago, I recorded an owl. I thought at first I thought it was an owl, and then I told Rick, like, this is not 800-pound owl because when you hear it, you hear the owl call, but it's like it goes towards the end, and there's no way. There's always that little bit where you can tell it's not an owl, and it was also responding to me because I was doing like whatever calls I could think of, even whistling. I even told Al I've taken my flip flop and beat it against my fence post, and it makes like a knock sound, like a loud knock. And I've got responses to that too, just from my flip flop, like El Chanclita.
Oh, Chanclita. Well, fellas, I say we a few more minutes, we wrap it up. I got to go to work in the morning for 3 days, but
you're on a 3 day straight.
3 days straight.
3 days off.
3 days straight. Then I got, I think 2 or 3 off. Then I'm gonna work 2, off 2, then work 2 again.
Okay, hold on. You ready, Rick?
Yeah, you gonna send it through Messenger?
I'm sending a messenger to you right now. And this is clear as day. You could, if you went large, you could see a freaking. It's a face. You can see the eye. I mean, it's got the perfect. Everyone says sometimes they see the Bigfoot. They have that grayish, like old worn leather baseball glove off their skin. That's exactly what the face is. So
see that one I posted today, and I asked if it was Bigfoot in the group.
I don't think I.
Oh yeah, I seen that. Yeah.
I mean, it looked like Bigfoot to me. It's the only picture.
Yeah.
Looks like Bigfoot.
I mean, I haven't seen a Dogman yet, and I hope I don't see one because these things are.
Yeah.
Once you see one, you can't take it back.
Well, I can say I seen one now.
Hey, that's what I said. Like I have personally provided people. I've got 2 pictures where you can look at the Dogman in its eyes. 2 pictures where you can look them in their pupils. I've got the growl. People can hear one growl. You know what I'm saying? I thought that would be a huge deal in the Dogman.
What do you think? What do you think, Paul?
I can't hardly see it on my phone that good. Let me turn my phone off.
What do you think, Rick? Nothing but trees, right?
Nothing but trees.
Nothing but trees. Pareidolia.
I see it.
Look at that damn face. That's like, I always joke about. That reminds me of like Frankenstein face from Van Helsing.
Yeah, I see it.
You see the mouth. The mouth's wide open, and you see the one eye, and you can almost see like a nostril.
Yeah.
It's peeking from around that tree. Is that what it's doing?
That's pretty much what it looks like. Yeah, and that's not low either. That was probably 7 to 8 feet right there in that spot because I went back. I can't remember exactly where it is from the top of my head right now, but I did go back and recheck that spot. That wasn't there the next day I took that picture because someone. This is from years ago. You always got smart asses in groups. Oh, go back and take a picture. Prove us it's not pareidolia. Blah blah blah. So I was like, all right, here you go. Here's a picture. Next day, nothing there. They're like, oh snap. I was like, yeah, well,
yeah.
I'm not trying to not trying to sell the Kool-Aid. I'm not trying to sell you some snake oil. This is the real deal shit on my property.
I'm showing people. I'm not trying to convince them.
Yeah.
I know they're there, and
Right.
I don't got nothing to prove, nothing to gain, nothing to, I'm not trying to get rich off the shit. I'm just trying to show people the truth. You don't want it, then so be it.
Exactly.
Go kick rocks.
Pound sand.
Or if you can get somebody on video scrolling past a picture they don't see nothing in, that's better than a picture of a dogman.
Yep.
You catch somebody on video just scrolling on by something they can't see nothing in, and that's the holy grail to me.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right, fellas. Well, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. Y'all got any last comments before we shut her down?
I think real quick, I'll just say one thing. The way this community's been lately, I think we could do a lot better if we all just work together, group up, and we can get so much accomplished.
Yep.
But just put our heads together. All these minds together working. Put our differences aside. It's been doing good for the last week or two. Let's keep it like this. Work together as one unit, and I guarantee you we can get a lot accomplished, and we might even be able to get some more disclosure stuff. On top of the UFO, we might be able to get some disclosure with Bigfoot and Dogman. So let's just stay positive and stop freaking chewing each other out and just work together and do what's right. Because that's what at the end of the day, we all want the freaking truth. That's all we want to get out there.
I mean, and it's crappy that I can't share stuff in Rick's group or your group, and it don't have anything to do with you guys personally, not you guys. I mean, I like you guys, coolest people I've ever met. It's the people in the group. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to argue with people and bicker. And if somebody says, "Hey, I don't see anything. Can you help me out?" Cool, hell yeah, I'll help you out, man. And if you can't see it, thanks for looking.
Yeah.
But like, people are just
snide.
Yeah. They gotta be slick about it and try to make you feel like it's your fault they can't see it.
Yeah.
Well, these day and ages, everybody wants instant gratification. They want to be able to say, like I said, they want that Van Helsing shot. I made you moderator. You don't like what they say, boot their ass out.
Exactly.
I don't give a damn. They're going to be disrespectful to you. They're breaking the rule of the admin and moderator, so boot their ass out because that's what they get.
Absolutely.
I'm not losing sleep about it, so whatever.
We are not either. And like we discussed, people want to do all this beef. Y'all want to fight. Hey, whatever floats your boat. Do what the hell you want. Just keep it out the groups. Because while you're sitting...
If we was put together a research group, like serious researchers, it would be about 5-6 people.
Yeah, exactly.
Genuinely seriously interested in it. The research, where these things come from, their capabilities, all that stuff. We'd be about 5 to 10 people in it.
That's right. You're right, Big. Yep, exactly.
And like I say, if they want to go ahead and fight, just keep it out the groups. Mm-hmm. Hey, look what we did while everybody was beefing. Look what we got.
Yeah.
Documentary out 2022.
There you go. All right, fellas, let's call it a night. It was awesome chatting with the two of y'all. Like I said, Paul, I'm sure I'll talk to you tomorrow while I'm not doing nothing at work. Tom, the same.
Yeah, we'll be chatting throughout the day, whatever. Yeah. I get my dry time at work where I'm not, I'm bored as shit for about an hour or two where things get slow and me and you'll bullshit and share pictures and whatever. And this,
cool. Y'all just be careful. Tom's king of the butt dial.
I got that. I have a bad habit of not locking my screen after I'm done with the chat, and I'll either send a butt dial or I'll send a message that you can't understand because there's no words. It's just a bunch of letters typed in or a crazy ass picture of a meme, but it's all good.
That's why I simple code on my phone, so it has to be locked. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'll do the same thing.
All right, fellas. Well, y'all have a good night. Everyone, good night. Thank you for showing up to the Recreated podcast, and we will do it again soon. Absolutely. Have a good night and rest well.
Take it easy.
Later, y'all.
Take it easy, everybody.
All right.